Welcome to the Louisville Urban League's Workforce Wednesday, a 60-minute virtual series led by the region's top corporate recruiters, offering leadership development and professional trainings. Tune in monthly for our live hiring events from many of the best corporations in Louisville, Kentucky. All right. Thank you and good afternoon to everyone for joining Workforce Wednesday. We have Norton Healthcare here with us today. They're going to share about opportunities within their company, how to apply, and all the good things that come along with being an employee at Norton. Our presenter would be Dante Simpson. And but before we get started, there will be time at the end for question and answer. In the meantime, you can drop it in the chat or in the question and answer box, and we'll get to those. And we are recording this, and we'll launch a short poll at the end if everyone could take that poll. So without further ado, I'm going to get started and hand it over to Dante. Dante, if you could just share a little bit about your background, what you do at Norton's, and then the rest of the show is yours.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dante Simpson. I am a community outreach recruiter for Norton Healthcare. Um, a fancy title for recruiter. I'm still a recruiter within talent acquisition, but me and another recruiter, we go out into the community and basically do all the career fairs and community outreach events for Norton Healthcare. So any community event that you out at and you see a Norton Healthcare table, most likely it's gonna you'll probably see me or my coworker. I've been with Norton for a little bit over 2 years now. Before Norton's, I was a recruiter for the United States Navy. Did 22 years of service, retired, and then started with Norton. So today, what I want to do, I'm gonna share my screen and just kind of go over some basic information about Norton Healthcare, and then some of the positions that we hire for. Now, positions that I'm gonna touch on today is not every position that we hire for. So I would say the best route to go to see what positions that we have open at any given time is to visit our career site at nortonhealthcarecareers.com. Um, that's going to probably be your best way to see what we're hiring for, the description, what the requirements are. Um, some of the stuff that I'm gonna touch on today is just kind of like a brief overview of a handful of our positions. And again, if you have any questions, we can have time at the end to answer those. All right, so just a little bit about Norton Healthcare. Currently, we operate 8 major hospitals within the southern area, and then 430 other medical locations throughout the state, right? We're the second largest employer in the Louisville metro area, sitting at around 22,000 employees. And our mission for Norton Healthcare is basically to provide quality healthcare to those we serve in a manner that responds to the needs of our community and honors our faith heritage. All right. All right, so now I'm just going to touch on some of our hospitals. Like I said, these are our current 8 hospitals that we have in operation. And I'm gonna skip around a little bit and explain a little bit, just kind of introduce you to them. Some of you may be familiar with some of the locations. Some are pretty new. I'm gonna start with Norton Brownsboro, which would probably be our newest built hospital. That's going to be located out in the like northeast area of the city. Like I said, it's probably our newest built hospital. Then we have Norton Hospital, which is located downtown, which is probably everyone's familiar with. Hospital. It's kind of flagship hospital, our biggest hospital. I think we're setting at over 200 beds for that hospital. And then right across the street from Norton Hospital, I'm gonna skip down to the lower left-hand corner and speak about Norton Children's Hospital. It's located right across the street from Norton Hospital. It was formerly Kosera Children's Hospital. Now it's acquired by Norton, so it's Norton Children's Hospital. And Norton Children's Hospital is like the number one pediatric hospital within the state of Kentucky. Um, So if there's any type of pediatric emergency within the state, most likely they're going to fly you to Norton Children's Hospital. Then we have Norton Audubon Hospital, which services more of the central area of the city, located off of Papa Level Road. Then we have Norton Women's and Children's Hospital down there at the on the bottom row. Um, don't get confused with the title Women's and Children's. Men can also visit this hospital and be patients at this hospital. It was formerly Suburban Hospital, but the reason they rebranded to Women's and Children's Hospital is because most of childbirth is going to take place at the Norton Women's and Children's Hospital within the city. Now the next three, I'm going to start with Norton King's Daughter down at the bottom. We acquired this hospital maybe a little bit over a year ago, and it is located in Madison, Indiana. So that's probably about an hour away from downtown Louisville. So that's going to service that area of Indiana. But then we just acquired two other Southern Indiana hospitals located right across the bridge. So Norton Clark Hospital, which is located in Jeffersonville, Indiana, and then Norton Scott Hospital, which is located just north on 65 uh, of Jeffersonville, north of Jeffersonville, Indiana. So those are our two newest hospitals that we acquired. Um, I believe they just came on board over the last summer, so they're still trying to get integrated within the system of Norton Healthcare. So those are going to be our two newest acquired hospitals. So those are the 8 major ones that we have operating currently, but the ninth hospital is sort of a big deal because it's going to be the first hospital built west of 9th Street in Louisville, Kentucky in over 150 years. So it's going to be Norton West Louisville Hospital. It's going to be located on 28th and Broadway, part of the Goodwill Opportunity Campus. And a lot of questions that I get about this: is it going to be a full staffed hospital? Is it going to be like a clinic, media care center? Nope, it's going to be a full-fledged hospital, just like the downtown location. It will be smaller. It's only going to be 20 beds, but the reason for that is because it's more of a preventive care is what they're going to be geared towards. So it's still going to have doctor's office, specialty care, surgery, emergency rooms. Like I said, a full-fledged hospital. It's just going to be on a smaller scale, and it's going to service more of the western part of Louisville, of downtown Louisville. And it should be opening. I believe they said the first patient we should receive November of this year. All right, so those are the 9 hospitals. And like I said, we have over 430 other facilities throughout the state in Southern Indiana. And that's going to be like our primary care doctors, immediate care centers, prompt care centers, which are located in a lot of the Walgreens throughout the city, and then also our institutes, such as the Norton Cancer Institute. So a lot of locations for the positions that we are hiring for. All right, so I'm gonna start with the clinical roles just because that's what everybody is familiar with when it comes to healthcare. It's the clinical roles. I'm gonna start out with the patient care associate position. A lot of people know what a CNA does. It's pretty much the same as what a patient care associate does. As a patient care associate, you don't need a certification, so that's pretty much the only difference between a CNA and a PCA. For our PCAs, we're going to bring you on board and put you through like a 6-week training at our facility to get you started in a career as a nursing support role, right? So what that's going to look like for a patient care associate is you're going to be bedside, taking care of the patient, the right-hand person to the nurse. So yes, you're going to have to deal with blood and bodily fluids, bathing the patient. So you're going to do a lot of the stuff that a CNA would do at the hospital. All right. And then I'm going to skip over to the medical assistant. Medical assistants are pretty much what I would call a PCA for our doctor's office. Our PCAs are going to be are going to work primarily in one of the major hospitals that we operate, and the medical assistants are going to be in our doctor's offices, immediate care centers, prompt care centers. But their job is pretty much the same. Medical assistants are going to be the ones that are going to come out, call your name out of the waiting room, put you on the scale, take your vitals, and set you in the exam room waiting for the doctor. So those are going to be our medical assistants. We also have a training for that. It's about 6 weeks. It's pretty much on the job training type thing. They're going to bring you in for 6 weeks, train you up on being a medical assistant, and then you will have a role at one of our facilities. All right. Me personally, as a recruiter, when I'm talking to applicants and they say, hey, I'm looking to get my foot in the door on the clinical side, I don't know where to start, I don't have any experience, I usually point them in the PCA roles and the medical assistant roles first, because those are going to be the pretty much the basic. They're going to teach you the basics of the healthcare field and get you going in that path. All right. And then later on, I'll explain to you how, you may come in as a PCA and then let Norton's pay your college to go become a RN, LPN. So, all right. The next one I'm going to touch on is the surgical tech. Now, surgical technicians, we do have we have a program for that, but this one's going to be a little bit more advanced. It's 9 weeks. I'm sorry, 9 months of training. So they're going to bring you in paid training for 9 months and teach you everything you need to know to become a surgical technician. Surgical technicians are the right-hand person to the surgeon. So I always tell my applicants, you better have a strong stomach. You better be able to identify the different instruments needed for the surgeon, because you're going to be right there handing them the different equipment and prepping. So again, surgical tech is a little bit more in depth than maybe like a medical assistant or a PCA, but again, we do have that training program that's a 9-month training program. All right. Pharmacy techs and laboratory services. So for our pharmacy techs, as you can see, we have non-certified and certified positions. For our non-certified positions, they will allow you 2 years. So basically, you apply for the position and you get offered to be hired for that position as a non-certified pharmacy tech, but then they will give you 2 years to get certified, basically. So I believe it's like a year to take the test and then another year to actually pass the test. That's kind of how that works. And then for laboratory services, you're pretty much going to be working in our labs, processing blood samples, that type of thing. With both of those positions, you do come in contact with patients, right? But not as much as like a PCA or a medical assistant along those lines. So with pharmacy tech, lab tech, I would say that those are more behind the scenes. You're still in the clinical setting, but more behind the scenes. So that may be something you may want to look towards if you don't want to be hands-on directly with the patient, but still want to be on the clinical side. And then of course every healthcare system needs RNs and LPNs. And we have some programs, like I said, I'll touch on that later on in the slides about how to get money to go to school so you can become an RN, LPN, that type of thing, and let Norton Healthcare pay for it. What else? EMTs, paramedics, we're always looking for those if that's something you may be interested in. And then respiratory therapists, diagnostic imaging, and rehab services are we don't have a lot of those positions. That's why I'm not going to go into detail with those. They will pop up every now and then, but most of the time those are going to be like a one-off type of positions that we're going to be looking for. Now let's move into the non-clinical roles, because again, in the healthcare system, when you hear Norton Healthcare, first thing you're going to think about is nursing, any of our clinical positions. A lot of people don't stop to think that in the healthcare system, you're going to need the support system to make the healthcare system run smoothly, right? So you're going to need positions that you may not come directly in contact with the patient on the clinical side, but such as like registration representatives, you will be speaking with the customer, I mean, speaking with the patient, getting their insurance information, um, basically getting them in the system as far as that goes with the insurance side. So you are going to have interaction with the patient, but it's not going to be bedside interaction. So that could be a good starting point if you want to get into the medical field, but you just don't want to jump right into like a PCA role. A lot of people look into registration representatives or receptionists, like our medical receptionists. Those are going to be the first people that a patient is going to see when they come into our facilities. They're going to get you in a system, take all your information, um, basically get you into our Epic system with what they're going to do. They're also going to be probably like the last face you're going to see because if you have a follow up appointment and before you leave, the doctor may say, "Hey, check out and schedule an appointment for 6 months down the road or what have you." That's the person you're going to go see to get that appointment scheduled. Right. So another position that you're going to be dealing with the patient, but not on a clinical side, not bedside. Mhm. Um, let's talk a little bit about our access center representatives. Uh, Another position that again interacts with the patient, but not on the bedside type of situation. These are going to be they act as like a liaison between the doctor's office and the patient. So let's just say, hey, I'm gonna call my doctor, my primary care doctor, and set an appointment for next month or next week. Those are going to be the people that you're going to be speaking with at our access center. Or if you may have a question or something like that, those are going to be the positions that make outbound calls and also take inbound calls for patients. Uh, and then these next few that I'm going to speak on are really the ones that, like I said, a lot of people don't think that Norton Healthcare or any healthcare system would need: maintenance and facility services. So again, I just said we have over hundreds of facilities throughout the state in southern Indiana, and we need someone to maintain them. So maintenance and facility services are definitely much needed positions that we need to help take care of our facilities. So if we have an issue at one of our facilities, we need a team to go out there and correct it so our clinical positions can do their job, right? Same thing with security officers and the dispatch team. When you're a patient and you go to one of our hospitals or facilities, you want to feel safe because you're already probably not feeling your best. You don't want to have to worry about, hey, am I safe while I'm waiting to see the doctor. So of course we have a security team at our hospitals and also roving security at our facilities. So security officers are definitely needed. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say we have armed guard and unarmed security guards. Information technology. Of course, we need IT. Any healthcare system or any type of company is going to need a strong IT team. Again, we use the Epic system for our healthcare information. So we need someone to manage that, and also all the computers and equipment that we run in our hospitals. We're definitely going to need IT positions to fill that. Now, I will say with IT positions, a lot of people come up saying, "Hey, I'm coming straight out of, I just got my degree in IT, any of the IT type of degrees." And I will say that we don't have a lot of entry level positions at Norton Healthcare. We do have some, but not a lot. So a lot of our positions are going to be more, I would say, mid level information technology. So that means you would have to have a lot of different certifications when you apply for those positions. But again, take go onto the career site or Norton Healthcare careers.com, look at the requirements for each position. Because like I said, we don't have a lot of entry level, but we do have some. So make sure to take a look at that if you are interested in the information technology position. All right. Food, nutrition, and environmental services. So these are two of our biggest uh, areas, I would say, within our healthcare system. Of course, like I said, with all the different facilities that we operate. Um, and I would like to say they are two of the most important. And the reason I say that is because food nutrition. So if you're a patient or even if you're a guest in the hospital, again, if you're at a hospital, most likely you are not in the best of mood, right? Or you're not feeling your best. But food, if you are fed, that tends to make you feel a little bit happy. You don't want to feel bad and be hungry. So food nutrition is important. And then environmental services, when you come into our facilities, or if you're a patient in our facilities or even visiting, you don't want to come into a hospital that's dirty. I mean, that's bad all the way around. So our environmental services are the positions that take care of making sure our hospitals are clean and sanitized. So of course that's going to be a big position that is important to the healthcare system. So now I'm going to speak a little bit about the Norton Healthcare Scholars Program. This is the program that I was talking about if you were interested in furthering your education or in furthering your career within Norton Healthcare. It's a scholars program that offers $45,000 for schooling, right? And you can take advantage of this as an employee and if you're not an employee. So how it works, if you're not an employee, you apply for the scholars program. You can get up to $45,000 for schooling. Once you graduate from school, there will be a job obligation that you would have to serve after your graduation. So you could be a student at going to a college out of state, finish school, but you will be required to work here at Norton Healthcare. So require moving to Louisville and fulfilling that obligation after graduation. Right. But again, if you're interested, if you come in as a PCA or medical assistant and you want to become a RN, LPN along those pathways, this would be a good start of going in that direction, having Norton Healthcare pay for your schooling to get that degree so you can further your career within the healthcare system. Right. So this is just kind of an overview of our application process. As you can see, it's 5 different steps. Now, I will tell people it's not an easy, quick process when it comes to applying with Norton Healthcare. You would think this would just flow real smoothly, but what they're not telling you is the time frames in between each step. I tell applicants to allow 3 to 4 weeks from the time you apply and the time you start your first day at Norton Healthcare. But the first thing is, like I said, you would go to nortonhealthcarecareers.com, apply for a position. After you apply for that position, and you can apply for as many positions as you like, that's no problem. But what'll happen is a recruiter will review those applications, your resume, to see if you qualify for those positions, right? If they feel like you are a good candidate and they want to move forward, they will schedule you for a recruiter interview, which will most likely be over the phone, or we have what's called open interview events throughout the community, which, like I said, one of the things my team does is we go out in the community and hold open interviews. Those are basically recruiter interviews. So you would apply and either wait for a phone interview with a recruiter, or you can come out to an open interviews event and be interviewed right there for the position that you applied for. And the way you can find out when we will be out in the community doing open interview events is also going to be located on the Norton Healthcare Careers .com website. All right. The fourth step, so let's just say the recruiter interviews you and feels like, hey, move forward with you for this position, because the only thing the recruiter is doing is making sure you're a good fit for Norton Healthcare, right? So then they will set you up with a manager interview for that position. So then you will actually speak face to face or either over Zoom with the actual hiring manager for whatever position that you apply for. That way, the hiring manager can get a good feel for you, and if they decide, hey, this is the person that I want, then the recruiter will reach out and extend an offer for that position. So again, those are the 5 steps to the application process. Again, I say it takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get through that whole process and to actually start your first day with Norton Healthcare. these are just some of the benefits that Norton Healthcare offers. I want to say you could Google Norton Healthcare benefits 24, and the brochure will come up, and that way you can kind of get some detailed information about some of the benefits that Norton Healthcare offers. Of course, they offer healthcare benefits, life insurance, retirement, a good housing program benefit that's pretty good. Vision and dental is also available. So, like I said, if you are, you want to get the details of the actual benefits, you could just Google Norton Healthcare Benefits 2024, and the brochure would come up with the details. All right, that was all I had. I know it was pretty quick. I didn't really know how long I was going to have for this presentation, but I'm open to any questions about anything Norton Healthcare or any of our positions.
Thank you, Dante.
No problem.
If you guys have questions, please feel free, drop them in the chat now. So I had a few questions. Um,
Okay.
what about work from home opportunities? Are the schedulers, are the access center, are those positions work from home?
So yes and no. Okay, so for the access center positions, that's probably going to be your best route to working from home. They say they're not guaranteed work from home because what happens is you'll come in, and I want to say for 3 or 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, I believe, that they're going to give you the training about becoming an access center coordinator. And if they feel that you can do the job at home, I think they give you that option to work from home. But I don't think we have anything that's a set work from home type of position.
Okay. We do have a question in the chat. They want to know, when can we apply for the new hospital location?
So the timeline for that. So right now they did basically like the system directors, and now they're like at the middle management type roles. So there will be roles posted in the website. But if you're looking for entry level type positions, they haven't rolled out those positions yet. I want to say they should be coming within February, end of February, beginning of March, because right now they're hiring like middle management. So if you have some to apply, of course, get on there and take a look at our on our career website.
Awesome. You mentioned the MA position was a 6 week training.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to already have like a MA certification?
Nope.
No?
So that's what their training is for. So again, that's most of our. So let me back up. So PCAs, we will take PCAs on a continuous basis, right? 6 weeks training, paid training, and you'll become a PCA. For our MAs, it's more of it's an open and close type of application process. So let's just say next Monday is going to be the opening for applications. So you would apply for that week. Then after that week, it'll be an interview process, and then the classes will start. But it'll be closed, so you wouldn't be able to apply. Um, but no, you don't need any certifications. They're going to bring you in, teach you everything you need to know to become a medical assistant.
Awesome. Ivan Morrison has a question. If I've already applied for a position in Norton and I haven't heard anything about a career, do we need to reapply?
You can, if you built a profile within our career website, you can check the status of your application. If not, I would apply. And the only reason I say that, I tell everybody to continue to apply with Norton Healthcare because it's how the process works. You may apply for one position and at one position at one location, but so they may pick somebody for that position. But that doesn't mean you're not necessarily a good applicant for that type of position. That just means you would have to apply for multiple positions multiple positions at different locations, I would say. So
Okay.
if you can't go in there and see in your profile if there's any updates or anything like that, um, and it's been, I would say give it a few weeks. I would say after maybe like the third week, I would reapply
Okay.
or come out to one of our open interview events. That's probably like your best bet. That way you can get in front of myself or another recruiter, and that way they can kind of see, go into your profile, kind of look and see where you at in the process, or that type of thing.
So if you've already applied for a position on Norton Healthcare career site
Mm-hmm.
and then you attend a work open interview,
Open interview.
you
Mm-hmm.
can pull the application and interview them for that position
Correct.
right there on the spot.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
And how do we find the schedule for the open interviews?
So it's going to be on our Norton Healthcare website. Most likely, the next one that's coming up will be the featured. So it'll be one of the first things that you see. If not, there's a tab in there that says like hiring events. You can click that because we have a lot of different other type of hiring events also. So you can click that and kind of get the layout of what hiring events are available. So we have two different types of open interviews. We have, well, not two different types, but we usually have one at Hurstbourne Green, which is out Orangeville Station Road. But like I said, me and Taylor Street, we actually out in the community. So we usually hold ours at like the YMCA off of Broadway, the Norton Sports and Learning Center, the Institute for Health Equity off of Jefferson. So we try to get out in the community. That way, you won't have to travel so far to get to an open interview. But yeah, you can
Awesome.
definitely apply for those on the Norton Career site.
Okay. Good. That's good to know. So Janae Patrick has a question. Can I get training information on the ERM position? EMR position, excuse me.
The training information.
So is
Um,
there training to be a EMR?
um, if so, I would have to check on it. I would have to get some information on it.
Aisha Wheeler wants to know, I took notes for the 9-month paid training for the surgical tech position. Do you need
Mm-hmm.
prior experience or is it training and certification within the 9 months?
So same thing, like as far as with the medical assistant PCA. It's just that the surgical tech, like I said, is pretty long. It's 9 months. But no, it's a paid training. After your 9 months, you will be in a position as a surgical technician for Norton Healthcare. And but it's
For
kind of like,
Norton Healthcare. But
yeah.
but
So you wouldn't be
but that
certified to go
9 months
work.
doesn't include the certification.
Correct. You wouldn't be able to be certified to go work at another healthcare system. All this training is going to be Norton healthcare training. But it's kind of like the medical assistant training program that I was talking about as far as open and close. So it would be an application processing week, interviewing week or so, and then the actual classes will start. And the way to know when those trainings become available again is to visit the career website, build a profile. And what I tell applicants is when you build your profile, go into to your notifications and check the ones that you're interested in. So if you're interested in the surgical tech program, check the surgical tech tab. That way, it'll send you an email when that class is about to start the application process.
Okay. When the application opens up, it'll
Yeah.
notify you.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Um, for the tuition assistance program that you have, which I thought was wonderful because it was for people who are actual employees or not an employee, is it a difficult process to get in and get the tuition assistance?
So that program, I'm talent acquisition, so that's not necessarily our program. So I don't go into a lot of detail because I don't want to steer somebody in the wrong direction. Uh, we just give that information out because we're usually out in the community. But from my understanding, just from speaking with workforce development, which is the team that handles that, is you apply. It's I'm not going to say it's an easy process because it is a lot of stuff that goes into it. But you basically work with a one of the workforce development representatives, and they kind of walk you through the process. So I don't know each and every detail about it. That's why I give out that. that contact information because I would rather for that person to speak with that representative and have them walk them through that process. That way, you don't miss anything.
Awesome. Um, so the pharmacy tech, is that entry level, the non-certified pharmacy tech position?
Correct. So you don't
It
have
is
to have
entry
any right. You don't have to have any experience with that. But I just like I said when I speak about the non-certified pharmacy tech position, I do like to throw in there. Like I said, they give you 2 years to be certified. The question that I always get is, does Norton Healthcare help you or train you to be certified? There, I haven't gotten any official word of yes, someone would take you to the side and help you get certified when you go take the test. But I have heard that if you do come into that position, they're going to train you to be a pharmacy tech. So that's going to be information that you can take when you do take go to get certified.
So you're gaining the knowledge on the
Right.
job that you'll need to be able to
Correct.
take the test and get
Correct.
certified. Awesome. Um, what does the non-certified pharmacy assistant pay range start around? Do you know off the
I
top
don't
of
know
your head?
right off the top of my head. So with that though, Norton Healthcare they do pay by experience. So if you are coming in with no experience for one of those any of our positions, um, I wouldn't expect to get paid top pay to be honest, because they do pay by experience. But I want to say if I had to guess, and I really don't want to, but just for this presentation, I want to say it starts out around $17 to $18 an hour.
Okay, so Janae clarified. She was wanting to know is there any training for HIM positions?
Oh, HIM. No, there wouldn't be any training. I mean, besides the basic on the job training that you would get, but most of those positions, I'm not even going to say some of those positions are going to require experience. But again, I always tell people to go onto the website and take a look at those positions because as soon as I say most or some, need experience, they'll come up with one that you don't need any experience. So there's no way for me to keep up with every opening that we have. So definitely take a look at those positions on our career site.
Awesome. Well, if you have any more questions, you guys can feel free to drop those in the chat. I'm going to launch the poll right now. And if you could take the poll for us, that would be greatly appreciated. And Dante, is there any closing remarks?
No, I didn't have. Thank you for your
You don't
time.
have any?
No.
Awesome. All right. So I just have one announcement regarding workforce. We do have a Kentucky on the Builds program, which is entry level construction program. Our graduation for our current cohort is going to be February the 16th at the Urban League. So if you are interested, you guys can stop by and see our graduates who completed this 6 week course. Many of them are going to be moving directly into jobs that they acquired while they were in the training. If you know someone who may be interested in that program, please reach out to us at the Urban League at jobs@lul.org. Someone is raising their hand. Janae raised her hand. Janae, if you can, you should be able to unmute yourself. If you can't unmute yourself, and ask your question. If not, I would like to thank all of our attendees for joining us for this presentation. Um, Thank you, Dante and Norton Healthcare, for your continued partnership with the Urban League. Again, if you guys have questions, you guys can reach out to Dante. He left his contact information. And if that is it, we will conclude this Workforce Wednesday. So everyone can have a great day. Thank you.
All right.
Take
Thank you.
care. Bye bye.